Democrats rally around Biden as the party reels from DOJ reports. I mean, I've sort of come to the conclusion now that Biden is toast. I don't think it's possible for him to survive this hysteria around his mental health, his cognitive ability. Even if it's inaccurate, I think it's just too big a storm now. But if it is accurate, which it does appear to be, I mean, I don't know how many of you have witnessed those press conferences for the last week, but if he is really, you know, in the throes of cognitive decline, why, like, how is it so difficult to kind of get, like, can't you just tell him that he's still president? Just like wheel him into a little fake Oval Office. I mean, Donald Trump had a fake Oval Office. You're telling me you couldn't construct one for Joe Biden? Just be like, yeah, you're the president. That the Tories fired the boss of the post office, Henry Staunton, telling him somebody's got to take the rap for this, and that a senior civil servant had told him to delay the payments to the postmasters. Kemi Badenoch, who is Secretary of State for that area, she says that this guy's lying. So he says he was told to delay the payments. She says he's a bitter ex-employee. Who to believe? Ooh, the guy with the glittering career in business and multiple board roles? Or a chancer who put out a racism report that suggested that institutional racism doesn't exist? A report that 20 of the named stakeholders in the report ended up distancing themselves from. They were like, I don't know what this is. I mean, you didn't use any of my testimony. And look, it's just a colouring in book with hundreds of pages of pictures of white people with fingers in their ears. King Charles has changed the logo from a square-ish crown, right? For his, you know, he's the sovereign, he gets his own logo, or, you know, all of that jazz. It used to be a sort of squarish crown, I gather, and now it's turned into a sort of roundish one. And guess how much this commercial artwork changed? Very modest, completely unnecessary. Guess how much it's going to cost? It goes on, like, documentation, it goes on his website, it's going to be on post boxes. Guess how much it's going to cost? £50 million. To change it from one crown to another, to a slightly different another one. Like, a lot of us talk about lottery winner money, don't we? You know, if I won the lottery, like, even if it's a double rollover now, like, you're looking at, what, 7 million, maybe 10 million or something, thereabouts. 50 million. But imagine how stupid you've got to be in 2024 to still be a royalist. Clapping and cheering this lot as they blow £50 million on a slight logo change, while your nearest care home in 15 miles closes because there's no fucking money for it. But there you are, clapping and cheering. Clapping. Oh no, they do so much for charity, though, don't they? They do so much for charity. That's the thing. Oh, right, okay, do they? Any fun runs to keep the care home open over there? No. I haven't seen them do any fun runs, but they do so much for charity, so I read. Oh, they're lovely. They're lovely, the Royals. They do so much. I love Charles. I love the way he just, you know, appears in the Telegraph. God bless his heart. God bless Charlie. You know, and you're covered in mud and stinking of piss, banished to behind the security gate, but you're still there like, God bless you, Charlie. God bless you. You're right. That's you. We won £1 million, but my ex is nabbing the lotto. A couple are at war over winning £1 million. Michael Cartledge and Charlotte Cox, 37, bought it at a shop in Spalding, Lincolnshire. Who bought it? Who paid for it? I'm guessing it was her, because then it says she walked out on him weeks later and has been deemed sole winner by the new lottery chiefs. Okay, so let's assume that she paid for it. She gets the £1 million in her bank account, and then in a matter of weeks, she's like, do you know what? I think I'm done with this. And then he's like, well hang on a second. I thought we won the £1 million. Like, can't I have half? And she's like, nope. It's my money. I pay for the ticket, and now I can go off and pursue my dreams. I do think it's a fun scenario to look at, because it's an exaggerated example, but it is still an example nonetheless of what happens to some reasonably steady couples once you give them the financial freedom to run away. You know, we often talk about the downsides to the cost of living crisis, don't we? People's finances being crunched and crushed, their children's futures being robbed from them. You know, of course we talk about that, and it's terrible. Obviously it is. But is there a positive side to it? In that, you know,
if you gave your wife the financial freedom to fuck off, would you ever see her again? Would your children grow up motherless? I'm just saying. I'm just at the risk of sounding like I'm going off-brand somewhat. Thank you, Tories. Thank you. The party of family values. There is no way to work out how many families you may have kept together.
But I've only just seen the video that Rishi Sunak put out with this policy announcement.
One of the biggest issues children and teachers grapple with every day is the...
Like it's already bad, isn't it? It's already... The idea that he wouldn't hand his mobile phone over to somebody, that he wouldn't have an aide.
See how frustrating that is.
See how frustrating that is. Like, he's got one of those voices, hasn't he?
See how frustrating that is.
Like, this is what struck me with this video. He's got one of those voices where he can't sound pissed off. You know, it's like a handicap. Like, he's been born without that tone, without that. There's just something in his voice box. It's like if he ever actually lost it, if he tried to bollock somebody or like shout at them or actually swear properly, it'd be like, did you see how frustrating that is, you tossing piss dick? People would be like, you can't swear. I don't know where people go to swear, but they don't teach it at Winchester, clearly. Because you can't swear. Do you reckon it's like a sort of wealth thing? Do you think it's because he comes from money? You know, he's quite wealthy, quite well off, rich people, private school, high society types. Do you think it's just because they've got no real problems? They've got no money problems. If they've got any real problem, like they just throw money at it, it goes away. So they've never had to develop the tone and the passion and the gusto to actually be pissed off with people. Like if that was a real person, they'd be like, oh, do you see how fucking annoying that is? They'd throw it down. They'd slap the aide around and be like, why didn't you tell me to get rid of my phone before we start filming?
See how frustrating that is.
Prince William has issued a Gaza plea for permanent peace. Not only does Netanyahu not care what Keir Starmer thinks or says or demands, but even the future King of England, when he demands a ceasefire or a halt to the bombing, Netanyahu is still going to be like, yeah, I'm sorry, who said it? Oh, it's Prince William, the future King of England? King of England, you say he's going to be. Yeah, that's right. So not of Israel. He's nothing to do with Israel. No, not really. Oh, well then, could you do me a favour? Could you take this memo? Tell him to go fuck himself.